Let me just check everything and then we'll go ahead and dive right in.
Hey everyone.
Instagram is good. Instagram's good. YouTube's good. Ooh, YouTube is not good. Why is YouTube not showing up? Edit channels. Stream. Yeah, we are live on Instagram. Not yet though. It's like the little pop-up window. Let me just check out what's going on with YouTube. It's not showing up at all. Oh, here we go. We're good. We're good. We're good. Let me just change the title.
Checking it on Instagram as well.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, so we're all set with YouTube. Facebook is good. I'm just double
Also on
checking
Instagram.
everything. Not Instagram, not yet. It's like the little
Okay.
pop-up window.
Mm-hmm.
But let me make sure we're good. Live video. Go live. All right, so we're good on YouTube. All good there. I'm just checking out YouTube here. Or I'm sorry, Facebook. Facebook.
Good to go.
Almost good to go. I don't know why Facebook is not. Yeah, dude, I could see the lag on my end. It's pretty bad. Like even with the preview screen here and Restream.
Good thing the audio is great. So
That's all that
we
matters.
can, yeah, we can still hear you. So as long as that doesn't freeze, it's all good.
All right, cool. So we're live on everything now. Cool, cool, cool. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hello. Hello, hello, hello.
How's everyone doing?
Cool. Okay, so let's go and just dive right in. So, hey guys, I'm Salvador here with Detailers Growth, sitting down with Dan or Radu, our ad specialist. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Excited to talk about today's topic, which is scaling your business. So that's
Yes.
the most fun conversation to have. Yeah.
Yeah, so just to kind of I guess tee it up here, there's a lot of ways that you can scale your detailing business. There's not one right or wrong answer. Like we see this especially across our client base. Like some clients come to us and they're already scaled. Um, some of them are in the early stages, but I think the good thing is if we can lay out a roadmap to show you those different options, that's kind of what we're looking to do here on this live stream. So I want to talk about the early stages of what I see being like the detailing journey, right? The early stages are where you're just a one man show, you're owner operator, and you're looking for a sustainable and consistent way to get customers, right? So the first natural thing is going to be with your friends and family. And that is a good start. That'll give you that boost that you need to get the ball rolling, but it's not sustainable or it's not something that you can keep doing over and over unless you have an insanely big network of friends and family. Um, but eventually, that's going to be the place where you grow that or you get that initial customer base. So that's great, and
Yeah.
that's kind of where word of mouth takes off. But friends and family in the word of mouth stage plateau at a certain point. And we want to show you, or we want to talk about how to kind of get past that plateau that you run into with word of mouth. And word of mouth is something that you should that will just right if you have a great service, you have a great customer service, word of mouth will naturally grow. So that's always going to be there. I'm not saying to not, grow with word of mouth, but word of mouth can only take you so far. And we're going to talk about how to get past that plateau that you'll eventually hit with word of mouth. So there's a lot of different avenues, right? Dude? There's a lot of different avenues, but we have a lot of expertise with scaling with advertising. So you're very
Yep.
experienced with ads. I'm experienced with ads. Um, so let's go ahead and just talk about scaling with advertising. So growing with advertising is something that is daunting, especially when you're starting out. You know you need to advertise. You see these ads, right? You might even see our own detailers growth ads. So it may seem like advertising is something that is going to take a long time for you to learn. There's different aspects to advertising, what platform to choose, what to have in the ads, what to target, what your budget should be, right? So there's a lot of these variables, but I want to tell you that it's a lot more simple than you think. It's
Yep.
incredibly simple. And I think the best option naturally is going to be to pay somebody to teach you how to do the advertising. So this could be with an agency, this could be with a course, but get somebody who's familiar with advertising to show you what that looks like initially. I think that's going to shorten your learning curve. And I do want to say there's a lot of really great tutorials on YouTube that kind of get you familiar with Ads Manager. But let's say that you want to take the guesswork out of that. We have a program called the Details Growth Starter Program that does just that, specific to detailing. This starter program will help you create your first detailing ads to get you those detailing jobs basically on autopilot. So that's one avenue. Um, Back to advertising real quick though. With advertising, advertising is something that you're going to notice. Like one of the biggest positives with advertising is the leverage that you get. So you can put $30 a day in advertising and you can get out $250 with a detailed job, right? Depending on the package you want to
Yep.
advertise, depending on the copy, the videos, those kinds of things, you can kind of scale with that way. But Radu, when it comes to scaling with ads, what would you say is like the first step that somebody should take as they kind of learn and jump into advertising?
Sure. So I would say the first thing that's needed is to have a really good foundation when it comes to what people want to see online. So when you run an ad, besides those things that are in the back end with the budget, how to structure all that, it mainly comes down to what people see, how you can attract people's attention, keep them engaged, educate them. So all of those things, which are quite obvious, even like everyone when they see a specific ad, you'll know exactly what hooked you in, if you're interested and all that. So I would say the first thing that we can talk about is the main thing that we also been talking about for quite a while now is the video content. So video
Yes.
content and what types of videos you can run. Yep.
Yeah. So that's a great starting point. And that will do a lot of the heavy lifting with your advertisement is the video content. If you go
Yep.
to our Details Growth YouTube channel and you go to like the earliest videos that we have, we talk about the importance of video content. So this is something that even going back, you know, 3 4 years has remained true, which is the video content aspect. And just to kind of summarize, we've talked about video content at, you know, I guess in a lot of detail previously. But just to
Yep.
kind of summarize that, video content will do a lot of the heavy lifting for your ads because when done right, you're giving somebody the information they need to make an informed decision. So you're basically giving somebody everything they need to know to decide on yes, a ceramic coating is best for my vehicle or no, it's not. And you do that through video content. But let's actually go really deep and show you guys what this looks like in practice. So we're going to show you guys our video content guide. So this is our video content guide 1.0. But I think the fundamentals are there where we can actually show you how to really leverage video content in your ads to ultimately scale your business. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Radu, let me know if you can see this.
Looks good on my end. Good to go.
Okay, perfect. So, I'm going to do the present option, the present right here. Okay, so I want to talk about, just to kind of go into the video content aspect, is you got to look at the entire funnel, right? Top of funnel, this is what you're looking at is the marketing funnel. So at the very top, we want we want to just make people aware of what you're selling. So this starts by making an educated video or an educational video about your ceramic coating package, about your detailing package. You want to give people an idea of like what exactly is included in that package. Um, so like we've said before, like a smartphone is a product, right? It's a physical product that you can touch and feel. But with a ceramic coating job or with a detail job, you can't really, you can't show it to somebody. You can't, they can't touch it until they've already made that purchasing decision. So
Yep.
that's a pretty big hurdle to overcome to begin with, is getting somebody to see what you know about ceramic coatings, about detailing, in a way where they can just pull the trigger and book with you, right? So the next step is them expressing interest, right? So them liking your page, following you on Instagram, right? There's some level of interest there. And then the next stage is desires last consideration. So this is when they actually become a lead, when they submit their information, when they contact you, whether it's your website, through Google My Business, all these different avenues. But when they contact you, whether it's for pricing or to learn more, they're in the decision slash consideration stage. And then lastly, the last step of the funnel is them actually pulling the trigger and booking with you and getting their vehicle serviced. So I say all of this because you got to understand that, like, all of these steps with advertising, like you can take somebody through this entire journey with just advertising in a relatively short amount of time, right? And
Yep.
again, leveraging video content will help you do that. Um, so let's see what that looks like. Let's see what that looks like. Let me go to the next step. So I guess the next step before we show the video content is like how the video content will create high quality leads. So I know it might be a little bit covered on your end, but it says high quality leads are not found, they're made. So let's describe a high quality lead. Somebody who knows, likes, and trusts your business. They know what ceramic coating and paint corrections are. So this part is super important because you want to educate somebody in a way where it's not just talking to car enthusiasts, right? You want to make the terminology, you want to make the information super digestible. And then the next step is they know your process and they know how long it takes. So this is going a little bit further into like your ceramic coating process from start to finish. And you want to give them insight. You want to show them visually what this looks like from start to finish. So this right here is super important. This step right here is super important because we're actually giving somebody a glimpse, right? We're showing them the entire process to help get them to see what they're ultimately going to be paying for. So that's why this step is super important, is because like without that, you could tell them that a ceramic coating is going to cost $100 and they're still not going to
Yep.
pull the trigger because they don't know exactly what they're buying. So that's why it's super important.
Yep.
And then lastly, you want them to see the value in getting their vehicle back to showroom condition or protecting the appearance of their vehicle. So these things are all super important, and you can do all of these within one video, right? You can break down your process from start to finish, build up that value, and now you've essentially created a high quality lead with just one video.
Yep.
So
90
think
seconds.
about, yeah, think about that leverage that you have there. You're taking one video, you're recording it, you're breaking down your entire process, and you're advertising it to educate more people, right? So now instead of targeting a very small market of car enthusiasts, you're going after the general public, right? People who might not be car enthusiasts, but they can really benefit from getting their vehicle ceramic coated, right? That's who your market is not necessarily the car enthusiast or the car owner who drives an exotic. It's going to be the everyday daily driver that's
Yep.
going to make up the majority of your client base. And you can appeal to them by just letting them know your entire ceramic coating process in a very easy to understand way. So let's see what this looks like in practice. Again, the first type of video you want to make is an educational video. And this is where you're answering those common questions like what is a ceramic coating? What is a paint correction? Right? How does it compare to traditional wax? How does it compare to PPF? So all of these ideas will give somebody who's interested in getting their car ceramic coated a better idea of exactly what their vehicle will go through from start to finish. So that's why this is super important. So I'm going to play this video. Radu, let me know if you can hear the first couple seconds of audio here.
Once the
Good to go.
ceramic coating is applied to
You can hear it?
Yep, everything's okay.
Okay, perfect. So this is going to be a little video preview of what this looks like in practice. And this will help tie the knot on exactly what we've talked about when it comes to video content. So you'll notice that this video is 1 minute long. So these videos can be 90 seconds, 1 minute. I think the length of the video doesn't matter as much as the content within the video. So that's what I would say is more important, is the content within the video. And I think Aaron here does a really good job of showcasing that in a short amount of time.
to your vehicle, it becomes hydrophobic. This means water, dirt, and other impurities repel off of your paint. A ceramic coating eliminates the need for waxes and sealants, cutting your wash time in half. A ceramic coating magnifies the depth, gloss, and wet look of your paint. This makes it look brand new every time you drive. A ceramic coating protects your paint from tar, tree sap, acidic rain, and oxidation, preventing your paint from fading and looking dull.
Beautiful. So that is
Yep.
essentially the entire video.
This
let
is
me
critical
play the
for
last couple
any
seconds here.
vehicle, especially those that sit outside. Click the link for more information.
Yeah. So right there, within 1 minute, you're giving somebody like more information on the entire ceramic coating process, right? So Aaron did a good job of covering the benefits. He actually showcased certain parts like the ceramic coating application, talked about like what it protects against. And these kind of videos are the kind of videos that you need to be making as a detailing business owner to scale your business. And the cool thing about making these educational videos is that you will naturally get a higher quality lead coming through, because a good portion of those people who are you're advertising to will watch the video and become a lead. So, Radu, can you talk about like other aspects of educational videos? I guess, why is an educational video better to advertise than like a cool video edit of a vehicle in a parking lot, right? Where that video might not be super educational. Why is that? Why is one better than the other?
Yeah, so I would say the main thing is when you jump on a phone call with one of these leads, with a specific person that's interested, it's one thing to hear, hey, so I saw the ad, I know what a ceramic coating is, I know how much it will take, all of those, I know all the steps, I know why it's helpful for me, I want to do it. When's a great time for me to just bring the vehicle in? That's one thing. Compare that to someone just calling and asking you like, what's a ceramic coating? I saw your ad, there's like this cool vehicle, shiny, I want some of that. So then you would need to start explaining to them the entire like what ceramic coating is. It might take you maybe a few
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah, it
And
could be like a
then
30-minute to 1 hour phone call just explaining
ex-
the entire process.
exactly, when you teach them all about that, when you educate them beforehand, they're gonna make that mental decision of going with that service before jumping on the phone call. So it will then be a yes that will take maybe 10 seconds after maybe hearing the price, or compared to maybe trying to to think why it's a great decision while calling you, while talking with you. So I
Yeah.
would say that's the biggest one: educating them, letting them know, basically letting them know about all the things needed before you actually have a conversation with them. So then you can also scale easier, because it also ties into this idea of scaling. When you jump on a phone call with someone, it would be great to end that phone call maybe in 3 minutes. That's it. You
And-
book the job,
Yeah.
done. Compared
Yes.
to talking for 1 hour. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to double click on some of those things that you mentioned. So you're essentially taking somebody through that phone conversation with video instead of doing it on the phone with them, right? So you're breaking down, and the cool part about the advertising one of these educational videos is that you're doing like this video is scalable in itself, right? You can take this one video and you can replicate it, right? And you're doing that with advertising, right? You're basically magnifying the content of this video if you use it as an ad.
Yep.
And like you mentioned, Radu, if somebody watches this video and then they submit their information to become a lead or they contact you, now that person has a better idea of exactly what goes into the ceramic coating process, what exactly they're paying for, and it helps you quote higher ticket prices, right? Because now you're not competing on price, you're competing on value. And I think that right there is the biggest shift as to why these educational videos just perform so well.
Correct.
Um,
Plus, just seeing your face, listening to your voice,
yes,
they start trusting you. Plus, you never know,
yes,
someone might see your ad maybe 2 or 3 times. Maybe they're gonna see a few educational videos before calling you. So by the time they jump on a phone call with you, they saw you like 5 times this week. They know all about it. So it builds trust, and when it builds trust, you can also start charging a premium. Yep.
yeah. And yeah, one point that you mentioned earlier is the fact that like you become more well known. So this is also how you stand out from your competitors and ultimately get a head start from your competitors who are advertising the old way. The old way being just showing a cool video but not really telling somebody exactly the process that went into the vehicle looking like that.
Yep.
So you become more well known, people are seeing your logo, they're seeing your face, they're seeing your quality of work. So now you're able to turn a stranger watching your ad into a trusted customer a lot quicker, because that video is doing a lot of that heavy lifting for you. It's educating somebody, but it's also showcasing who you are as a business owner, your quality of work, your reputation, right? So there's a lot of things outside of just education that you can really get out of these videos when done right. So this is
Yep.
just a quick example of what that looks like in practice. Trust me when I say that you're gonna want to produce more and more of these videos because it just snowballs, right? So you do one
Yep.
video,
For sure.
it helps, right? But in the long run, you're gonna want to do more and more videos because there's a lot of people out there. Just think about how many people are out there that have contacted you that are price shopping, right? And you're going to hear the classic, let me think about it. Let me talk with the wife, right? They're basically saying those things because they don't see the value in what you're selling them. And a lot of that
Yep.
value you can actually portray and you can showcase with that educational video, right? So this is how these educational videos basically do a lot of the heavy lifting is you're putting it out there, you're making it well known what you do and like the entire process from start to finish. Because a lot of people are going to look at the little tiny bottle of a ceramic coating and they're going to assume that's all they're paying for, right? That's like
Yep.
the package includes, that's all they're paying for. But they didn't see the 6 to 8 hours that you did paint correcting it, deconning it, right? The more labor intensive aspect that then gets protected with the ceramic coating. So just showcasing them will give you a higher outcome or a better outcome of that person becoming more and more informed on exactly what you're quoting them on. Because now, like Radio, if I go to you as a detailing business owner and I say, "Hey, I'm looking to get my brand new Honda Accord ceramic coated," and you just throw out a price, let's say $1,500 for
Yeah.
whatever package that is. If I don't know everything that goes into that package, that my mind is going to be blown away because I have no idea. I don't have a reference point. I don't know exactly what I'm paying for. So when you quote me $1,500, it could be $100, and I'm still not going to pay $100 because I don't know exactly what I'm paying for. So that's where these educational videos do a lot of the heavy lifting in creating the high quality lead. I'll give you another example where educational videos really shine, and it's not the most important, but it does play a big role into building trust, which is the brand awareness aspect.
Yep.
You would be surprised at how many people are going to become customers just by seeing your videos consistently. Because once they're ready to ceramic coat their vehicle and they see the value that you've kind of laid out in your educational videos, now what they're going to do is they're going to shop around for quotes, and everybody else is going to tell them random, not random numbers, but they're going to get quotes, all over the board, right? $500 all the way up to $1,500. And the thing there isn't necessarily the pricing, but what they're paying for and what they're ultimately getting, the value that they're ultimately getting. Because if you're a detail shop and you're watching this, chances are your competitors are not advertising like this. So think about how big of a head start you have over your competitors just by creating these videos that you would advertise. And you don't just have to advertise them. Like if you have a strong SEO presence or you have a strong community in your local area, just putting out these videos organically, meaning not paying for them, not advertising them, is still going to give you the same result. Um, Advertising would just magnify it and kind of reach a lot more people than the organic non-paid for people. So that's where these educational videos can really help you scale your business. Is you're educating somebody, you're giving them more information to make an informed decision, and you're helping them see the value in what us, like all in the detailing community, we all know, right? We all know why a ceramic coating package might cost up to $2,000, right? But the general public does not. They don't understand why somebody would pay $2,000 to ceramic coat their vehicle. And the more you can see, the more you can kind of like educate somebody on the importance of protecting their vehicle and everything that comes with that ceramic coating package, the more likely you're going to get higher quality leads consistently. And this
Yep.
has been the biggest unlock to our clients, is just taking those videos, advertising them. And the next part that we're going to talk about is what to do with those leads. So just to kind of recap here, you started your detailing business. You've gone a couple customers with friends and family. You've built up um, a good amount of word of mouth, but now you're ready for that next stage. Naturally, we're very biased here, but I think advertising is that natural next step to really scale your business. But when done right, taking those educational videos, putting them out there, not just one video, but putting them out there consistently, can really help get a lot more people exposed to the benefits of ceramic coatings. And yeah, there's a lot of things that we can kind of go down there when it comes to advertising those educational videos, but in a nutshell, you're gonna get high quality leads. You're gonna spend less time on the phone convincing them. So now, like you mentioned, Radu, now it becomes less of a like an arm wrestle conversation where you feel like you're having to convince them, and it's like a different power dynamic. And now that person is coming to you. They've seen that educational video, they've submitted your website form or your Facebook lead form, but they've reached out in one way, and now they have a better understanding of exactly why a ceramic coating costs $1,500, $2,000. So that right there
Yep.
is going to be the biggest unlock for your business to scale. Um, So the video content there will do a lot of the heavy lifting for your business in getting people to turn into leads, into customers. There are other things that we can do to kind of make that more predictable. So now that you've created that educational video and you've advertised it, what do you do with the leads that you have there? Right. So the best thing that I think will really help your business is making sure that you're not letting leads slip through the cracks. So, Radu, can you talk about like now that we've advertised, we've got leads, what do we do with these leads after they've come and inquired?
Yep. So as soon as those leads will see your Facebook ad, they click on it, they go to those questions, all those leads will be sent over into what we call a CRM app. Some of you might have heard about this. It's this customer relationship management app. And what it does, three things. So we will send all of those leads a message. So we have a specific sequence. You want to keep those leads inside the loop because you're working and you get a notification on your phone. You can't always just jump on the phone ASAP, like in the next minute or
Right.
so. So that would be one of the first things that we do. You want to keep those leads inside the loop with a specific message sequence that they will get. Emailing as well. Maybe they'll check their email on a Sunday evening. They'll decide to reach back. And then we can also double down on retargeting. So let's say a specific holiday comes up, 4th of July, Christmas. We can send all of those leads a text message again with an offer. And then even if maybe 1% of them or 2% of them will say yes, another 10 jobs, 20 jobs, depending on how big the list is. So those would be the main three things that we can do through this app once we get those leads.
Yeah. And I think the most important thing when you begin advertising is not getting overwhelmed with trying to keep up with all the leads that come through. So, like you
Yep.
mentioned, Radu, we have a good system in place for our clients when they come on board with us to make sure that a lot of that is, or at least most of it is automated upfront. That way, you don't have to stop what you're doing each time a lead comes in to just follow up with them to just say, hey, John, I got your inquiry. Tell me a little bit about your vehicle, right? So that's a good thing about using a CRM is you're keeping all your leads within one place and you have a really good way to follow up with them automatically. So we use a CRM called High Level. Um, you can check it out. It's gohighlevel.com. But we give this to all of our clients that come on board with us because it's a great way to manage those leads in a sustainable way. Because with High Level, you can not only have a place where you're storing all your leads, but you also have a way to contact them. So, like you mentioned, Rudu, with email, with text, right? There's a lot of different ways to keep in touch with those leads and doing that in a
Yep.
way that's like not necessarily automated because you never like there's gonna be some manual aspect to following up with ceramic coating leads, right? Especially when it's a higher ticket job. It's going to be a little bit more hands-on just solely based on the pricing. But with detailing, you can automate most of it with a CRM like High Level plus linking that with a booking software like happydetailer.com. So there's a lot of different avenues that you can go down there. And yeah, like from start to finish, like this is how you scale your business is you get to a certain point with your network, with friends and family, with your referral network, with word of mouth. That can only take you so far. And don't get me wrong, word of mouth is great. Like that's never going to go away. Like that's probably the best way to get customers. But it can also take a long time to build up. It can be inconsistent, especially when you need it, like the fall and winter months. So the next step that we would recommend is advertising. Advertising is going to be key, and doing it the right way is going to help you really get the best outcomes from those leads that you get, right? Because then you can advertise those educational videos. You can tell people more about ceramic coatings. You can tell, you can really build that value there. And then you want to have a good system to follow up with those leads. and more importantly, a good sales process. So the sales process side of things, we're going to go into more detail tomorrow with Aaron. So Aaron and I are going to be doing a live stream or tomorrow afternoon, and we're going to talk about the sales process. So this would be like a good addition to what we're talking about here, Dan, where we're taking all of the leads from the advertising and we're working those leads. So we're actually seeing what the phone call conversations look like, how to talk to them on the phone, how to explain your process, how to build rapport, right? All of these things that you need to really get somebody to see the value with getting the vehicle ceramic coated. So I think that's a great place to wrap things up. Ridu, is there anything else you want to touch on when it comes to advertising, scaling? What kind of, like, I think the first most important step is to just kind of dive right in with advertising. Um,
Yep.
So we have a good program. Again, the starter program kind of walks you through how to create your first detailing ad campaign on Facebook. But once somebody has done that, Ridu, what can somebody do to like get the most out of advertising?
Yeah, so as soon as you maybe jump on that program that we have, for example, you start seeing how we do our ads. You can copy that for the interior detailing, for example. We then have a step-by-step method. We have specific programs that will help you get from just doing interior detailing ads to doing coating ads. And then when you're ready, you can just jump on with us. We can do all the ads for you. But to sum it up, as Sal said, the main thing is just doing it. Word of mouth might get you quite a few jobs here and there, but in case you want to double it predictably, in case you want to scale business, it's just one of those things where you need to try it, and then once you see those results coming in, you won't probably go back. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is why a lot of clients come to us, because they've hit that plateau, right? They've hit,
Yeah.
you know, again, nothing against word of mouth, but it can only get you so far. And it tends to not work when you need it the most, like the fall and winter time. So, yeah, again, scaling your detailing business is going to be largely driven through educational content. Like, if you're listening to this, please take advantage of the educational video content. Go ahead and make some educational video content, because it's going to help you stand out from your competitors, and you're going to inform people who might not even be super familiar with what a ceramic coating is in the first place, to get them to see the value and ultimately become a customer. So again, that's just one of the benefits of advertising. And in tomorrow's live stream, we'll actually go deep into the sales process and how to turn that lead, how to talk to them, how to, how to overcome objections, how to prevent objections in a lot more detail tomorrow. So we'll see you there, and we're looking forward to it. Peace. We'll see you guys next week.